Hey everyone, I'm Jelsy. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's been a while, right? Yes, a lot of life changes, but I have been keeping up with season 9 of When Calls the Heart, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Specifically, we're going to talk about episode 8, titled Hope Valley Days Part 2. It's very exciting that season 9 is airing right now, and it's been so fun getting to see these brand new episodes. So let's just dive in. I've missed this. It's week 2 of the Hope Valley Days celebration, and basically they're celebrating a bunch of holidays at the same time. They're celebrating Valentine's Day, Halloween, Thanksgiving, Hanukkah, and even April Fools. Bill wants to celebrate that. So Lee and Rosemary have Halloween, which is hilarious. And last week they were dressed as Mark Antony and Cleopatra, and this week they're dressed up as Romeo and Juliet. Rosemary has the long hair, looks amazing. It's really interesting because kids go trick-or-treating to Lee and Rosemary at their office, and then if they go in the pharmacy, May is celebrating Valentine's Day, and then the kids, when they go to school, it's Thanksgiving, and they're gonna have a Thanksgiving meal at the end of the week, just to end Hope Valley Days. So May's husband is in town, Jeffrey Lewis, who we didn't know who he was. We didn't even know if he was actually real, but turns out he is real. Jeffrey Lewis exists. He's in town, and word's spreading out about who he is, supposedly. But finally, in this episode, we know the story. May sits down with Nathan and explains everything. So May had apprenticed in Jeffrey's pharmacy while she was studying. Then she got a job there at the pharmacy, but Jeffrey wanted more than friendship. She said no, she refused, so he was mad about that, so he just created lies, like saying that they were engaged, and then that they were married, that they had eloped. He then went and created a fake marriage license, and May just had to escape, and she went to Hope Valley. And now that Nathan knows the truth, he is so relieved, because for a moment there he was like, this girl's married, I don't know what's going on, such a bummer. But he is relieved. But then in one point of the episode, Nathan and Jeffrey start talking, and Jeffrey says that he wants Nathan to arrest May, and he is in a difficult position because of what Jeffrey said. Nathan now has to. So then Nathan basically takes her into custody and to the jail. So she's sitting there in jail cell. But that's not all. The mayor of Chicago has ordered a transport, to have May transferred to Chicago. And if Nathan or Bill won't do it, they'll be in trouble. Another cool thing that happened in this episode is that we see Lucas, kind of like a substitute teacher kind of thing. And he just flowed in school. All the kids loved him. He was teaching them about the subject and the predicate. They were just having the best time. So Elizabeth was really impressed, and I was like, yeah, so Lucas should be a substitute teacher sometime, and just, Elizabeth has that option. So also in this episode, Bill is coughing a lot. In a few episodes before, we've seen Faith and Molly's concern, and at one point he coughs and it's blood that comes out, and it's kind of concerning because that doesn't mean a good thing. So I don't know what's going on there, but Faith gives him some cough syrup and just gives him some instructions. It was really funny, actually. A point in this episode where I think Bill drinks too much of the cough syrup, and he's just laying there in a jail cell, just and it was just hilarious. And Nathan is like, yeah, I'll take the cough syrup away. A few episodes back, we saw Anna again, and her parents are gonna leave, and she doesn't want to leave, and she just confides in Elizabeth. And in this episode, Minnie and Elizabeth help her out, and they offer Anna to stay in Hope Valley and help out Minnie in the cafe, and also they'll provide a room for her as well. So That's really exciting. So let's circle back to Jeffrey. It turns out that he was actually really married, but to another woman. He had abandoned her. So, you know, Nathan did some digging and found that real marriage license. So he found evidence. So now May is going to be left alone, I hope. I loved the end of this episode just to end Hope Valley days. Bill actually brought a Christmas tree to Main Street. And so the town celebrated Christmas as well. Seems to be it was his April Fool's joke. That was a cool April Fool's joke, I guess. But then we see the town in the saloon, you know, getting ready for the Thanksgiving dinner, and there's a photograph wall, and Lee and Rosemary have their camera, and just they did a cool montage of like everybody taking pictures in front of the camera. And oh my gosh, did you guys see little Jack? So cute. Florence and Ned, so elegant, come on. Look at that. Rosemary and Lee took pictures, and of course Lucas and Elizabeth. All the pictures were just so cute, adorable. And Nathan took like a picture with May and with Allie. It was a really great way to close this episode. I'm looking forward to hearing more about Gowan's story, and also you guys know that there's this whole thing looming around of the mine possibly reopening again. Jerome Smith is behind this. And if you guys remember, Jerome Smith was notified at the beginning of the mine disaster, and he said that it was safe, that, you know, Noah Stanton's or Gowan's concerns were not important. So he deemed the mine safe, and then the explosion happened. So let's see what happens with this. I'm really curious. This episode was really fun. I really enjoyed it. I think for me it had like really heartfelt moments, but also comedic moments, which I appreciate so much. So it was a great combination. Also, it was really great that Lee, you know, wrote that article about Hickam, but like in a more positive light, and remembering to celebrate the small things, the important things together. Thank you so much for joining me today and to talk about episode 8 of season 9 of When Calls a Heart. We're a little bit more than halfway through, so let's see. So see you guys on my next video. Bye.